It would appear that these integrity management programs have not yet lived up to their promise, as significant incident rates within high consequence areas continue to climb for hazardous liquid and gas transmission pipelines. The pipeline safety system that Congress has created plays a part in PHMSA's inability to get things done. One of the large barriers to getting better regulations in place is the cost versus benefit analysis that Congress has uniquely created for only PHMSA. With a large pipeline system where the probability of a failure is low but the consequence can be huge, it is nearly impossible to pass regulations under the current cost-benefit rules. If you are really interested in long-standing issues such as effective leak detection, automated shutoff valves, in the regulation of over 400,000 miles of unregulated gathering lines, then the cost-benefit language in the statute needs to be fixed. PHMSA's penalty authority provided by Congress results in civil penalties that are economically insignificant to many operators and are much smaller than those imposed by some states. The wording in the statute for criminal penalties also does not align with the better wording for PHMSA's hazmat operations and creates a very high bar to prove. We have provided suggested changes to the statute that can give PHMSA more flexibility in penalty assessment in the ability to bring criminal charges on companies in the rare cases where that is warranted. As currently written by Congress, the pipeline safety statutes do not prohibit the release of gas or hazardous liquid from a pipeline. Under current PHMSA rules, and as determined by recent court rulings, an operator can cause a significant incident without necessarily having violated a safety regulation. In other words, under PHMSA's rules, an operator has to have a plan for operating and testing their pipeline, but they don't necessarily have to have a plan that works. To close that loophole, we ask that you add language to make clear that the intent of the statute is to avoid releases of gas and hazardous liquids. In the Pipes Act, Congress asked the GAO to produce important reports on the integrity management program for both natural gas and hazardous liquid pipelines after the new rules PHMSA has been working on since 2010 are published. Since those rules have yet to be published and may be delayed further, these important reports are not yet due. The current integrity management rules have been in place for over a decade, are well understood, and NTSB has done a study on its effectiveness. So we ask that Congress direct GAO to produce these important reports as soon as possible instead of waiting for the proposed rules. Congress should also ignore industry calls for relaxation of class location rules because integrity management is in place until these GAO reports are done and the number of incidents under integrity management shows a downward trend. Also in the Pipes Act, Congress directed PHMSA to make it clear that the Great Lakes, coastal beaches, and marine coastal waters are considered unusually sensitive areas. This mandate is yet to be accomplished. The need to do this came as a surprise to us, since clearly these areas are unusually sensitive. We were also surprised to learn that PHMSA does not currently have a way to define and map all such areas. Congress should ask GAO to do a study of whether PHMSA's definitions and identification of such areas, along with commercially navigable waterways, are consistent with other environmental regulations, and whether PHMSA currently has GIS data layers that allow the agency and industry to know where such boundaries are, and uses this data to ensure pipeline operators are accurately identifying these areas. Congress should also mandate that such areas be made public so state and local governments, along with the public, can ensure that PHMSA and pipeline companies are correctly designating such important areas. I see my time is about up, so I want to thank you again for inviting me to testify today, and I'm glad to answer any questions and work with the committee as you move forward on reauthorization.